breath coaches, life coaches, manifestation coaches, spiritual coaches, financial freedom coaches, and coaches who coach coaches to be coaches for other coaches. What up, guys? My name is Casper at Casper's Focus, and today I want to talk to you about this question: are there too many coaches? I recently heard somebody say by now there's more coaches than people who need coaching. And sometimes these posts go around of people claiming that there's too many coaches and it's useless for people to keep doing coaches certification programs. Now, of course, I run a coaches certification program, so I might be biased, but I believe that there's not enough coaches. But let me rephrase the question. Are there too many politicians? It's a hard question to answer, isn't it? Because the question is, well, what kind of politicians? There's obviously way too many bad politicians who are incompetent and they're liars and all these things, but that also means that there's not enough competent politicians. There's not enough politicians who lead with integrity, for example. So you can take the same principle to coaching. To say that there's too many coaches and disregard the quality of these coaches, of course, doesn't make sense. Because if you've been paying attention, you know that the statistics are pretty crazy. People are in trouble. The vast majority of people in the Western world are struggling with mental issues like burnout and depression and addiction, or physical issues like autoimmune disease or all kinds of lifestyle-related issues, just low energy and hormonal problems. So there's this huge group of people who could really benefit from coaching, from good coaching. And then on the other side, there is, of course, a very large number of coaches that for some reason isn't helping that group of people. So there's two huge groups of people, both growing very fast, well-meaning, empathic, and even talented coaches who are great people on a great mission, and then people who are suffering and struggling and of poor health and who are in need of help. And these two groups somehow don't meet. The only way for there to be too many coaches is if all of the problems of these people would be solved by coaches, and then all these coaches are just sitting around like, I don't know what to do because everybody's helped, right? That is the only scenario in which there would be too many coaches. So my point is here that there's not enough competent coaches. And as I just said, it's not the issue that people are well-meaning and that they're empathic and that they're on a beautiful mission and that they're even talented or even knowledgeable. But the question is, do these traits actually lead to results? Because the only thing that counts out there in the market, so to say, in the real world where all these people are that are needing help, is whether you are getting results for people. Results are the only thing that matters. And a lot of people, they go on a path of coaching because they have a personal challenge in their life. They have a burnout, they have a depression, they have some kind of a physical issue or a big life question they can't answer, a spiritual question, and they go on a path of discovery and then they find an answer, they find a solution for themselves. And then they go, okay, well, I know how to do that for myself. I am now a coach. And they dub themselves to be a coach. So this is a very large group of incompetent people. But to be fair, there's also people who do that and they become extremely competent coaches. Maybe they're lucky, or there could be something like talent in play there. But one thing is clear, the largest number of those people are not actually competent. They're not helping anybody. They're not making any money. They're not finding clients. Okay. Now, of that group of people, of course, you have another kind of subset of those people who then go on a path of learning. So they do a coach's certification program. But by now, of course, there's programs like this everywhere. Right? So just having a certificate that says, well, according to becomeabreathcoachin3days.com, you now are a breath coach, it doesn't actually mean that you can get people results. Right? Because just the certificate doesn't mean anything. There's so many certification programs out there where you basically watch 10 videos and you enter one questionnaire and suddenly you're a breath coach and it says certified breath coach or certified healer or a therapist or whatever. And this causes people to think like, well, I have my own experience and I have my certificate. Now I should be able to do this work. I should be able to be a successful coach. And then still, they're not really helping anybody. So the point is that personal life experience plus a certificate doesn't equal competence. It doesn't equal getting people results. So how do you actually then build competence? How do you get the kind of competence that gets people results? Well, there's two very important elements. And the first one is to do your inner work. Coaches, do your inner work. I see so many coaches who only go on the path of coaching is because they believe that they need to fix other people's problems. And this is a big issue, because if you believe that you are a good coach when you fix somebody else's problems, it means that you have an agenda for the person that you're coaching. And that is kind of silly. And it is actually not helpful at all to this other person, because as soon as you have an agenda for the other person, so let's say you're a diet coach, somebody walks in who obviously, you look at them and you go like, well, this person could use some dieting. And they go like, hey, I could use some dieting. I want to lose weight. Can you help me? You go like, yeah, I'm a diet coach. I help people lose weight, right? So that makes perfect sense that now this is kind of contract that says, I'm overweight. You're a diet coach. You're going to help me lose weight, right? And then what you do is you create an agenda, because now this person has to lose weight in order for you to believe that you're a good enough coach. And this is a big issue. This is how you form an agenda. If you are coaching people out of the desire to make them better so that you can feel better about yourself, you're kind of in a line of work that is not going to really help the other person get the results, because now you're blinded as to what they actually need, and you are just basically satisfying yourself by helping this other person, or by thinking you're helping this other person. A lot of coaches try to fix problems for other people. This isn't coaching. If you fix somebody else's problem, you have taken their power away from them. Right? So this is why I say, do your inner work. If you need to become a coach because you need to help people live better, because you need to prove something about yourself to yourself or to the world about how good you are as a person by helping people, it means that through every person that you help, right, quote unquote help, you are actually just trying to satisfy a deep rooted, limited belief pattern inside yourself. Okay, so that's why it's so important to do your inner work and to not believe in your own shit too much. Like, stop believing in your own bullshit and really ask, did I help this person? Did I get them a result? So doing your inner work is one of the core elements to becoming a competent coach. You have to know your shadow sides. If you cannot navigate your own shadow sides, then you cannot work with another person without basically working on yourself, right? And of course, as a coach, you're always growing, and people are mirrors, and you learn about yourself as you coach people. But if you're still trying to satisfy these parts of yourself that are lacking, that are missing something, that need to prove something through coaching the other person, you're not going to be a competent coach. And then the second one is a little bit of a conundrum, because how do you build competence, right? If it's all about getting results for people, and the only way to really prove your competence as a coach is getting them results, but you need competence to get results. But how do you get competence? Well, you get it through study and self-exploration, and through doing, courses and certification programs, but especially through application of what you've learned. So if you have empathy, and you have talent, and you're sensitive, and you have a good mission, and you have knowledge, and you have a certificate, right, and you do your inner work, and you have all of those elements, then how do you convert them into competence? Well, through experience, through doing the actual work. The only way to know how to get people results is to start working with people and getting them results. But how do you start working with people if you're not getting results yet? You see, so this is kind of like this thing of you can't get a job because you don't have experience in the field, but you can't get experience because you can't get a job, right? That's kind of that conundrum. And this is why people glorify this work of coaching too much. Because the fact that you could help somebody and that you could be a competent coach if you had the opportunity doesn't actually give you the opportunity. And this is why a lot of coaches need to humble themselves. If you follow the average Instagram coaching advisor or the business coach or whatever, and they'll say like, if you're not making this amount of money in your business as a coach, you're doing something wrong, buy my program. And there's this whole self-sustaining system of business coaches who coach coaches, and then coaches who pay business coaches to coach them into being better coaches while they're still working their day job and wasting all their money on business coaches. Now, I have nothing against business coaches, but there's of course a lot of false promises in this world of coaching. So the thing is that I think a lot of people need to disillusion themselves of the idea that you are, you have your talents, you have all of your competencies and all your skills and all the things that you want to change about the world, and you step into the world and then nobody wants your help. And you step outside and you look around and you go, all of these unhealthy, unhappy people, and they're struggling and they're suffering, and you go, I have the solution, please, let's just give me a chance and I'll help you. And nobody wants it, right? So there's kind of like a mismatch between that market of people who need help and don't realize that they could use help of a coach, and a lot of these coaches that are really well-meaning and like all that stuff, right? Now, there's a lot to say about this topic, but to keep it simple, I'll leave you with this last thing. for most coaches, they are way too focused on what they want. All the marketing, the Instagram business coaches, it's all focused on build your dream life and make as much money as you want and do exactly what you want to do in life. And so if you think about being self-employed as a coach and you think about what do I want to do, and you're only focused on the kind of people you want to help and the kind of topics you want to talk about, then you're actually overshooting the biggest question, which is, what do people want? What does the world actually need, right? There's never too many competent people giving the world what it needs. If people are feeling a pain, having a question, or having a hard time receiving help in a certain way, then figure out how to answer that question, how to give the help in that way, because it is what they need or what they want. People care about what they want, right? So the only way to start getting experience as a coach is to figure out what the pain is that people feel, what the problem is that they have. You might care as a breathing coach about breathing better, but people don't give a shit about breathing better. People want to live better. As a diet coach, you may be super excited about eating healthier, but most people who need a diet coach, they don't give a shit about eating healthier. They want to live better. They want more energy. They want more time with their loved ones. So start to really ask, where can I be of service? How can I find a problem that somebody actually have and actually solve it in a way that gives them immediate results? If you start to do this, you will get experience, you will start to get results, and then you will start to see what the value is of your ability to get these results. And then you can start pricing, and then you can start making money. And then pretty soon you'll have a line out the door of people who want their problem solved in your way, because you have the results. And your results, of course, prove your competence. And when you have this competence, then you of course, can have a completely different position out in the market, because you know you have competence and you know you can help people, and they will find you based on word of mouth, based on the way you project yourself out there. All right, lots more to say about this topic, but for now, I would love to hear your thoughts on it. Please comment below, give us a like, and follow the channel if you're interested in these kinds of topics, and then I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.